How about you?
Yeah, I'm good. Okay, so, all right. I think I had you yesterday, is it?
Yeah, I
Yeah,
think so.
okay. Okay, so what's the topic today?
I do like to study the textbook, speak your mind.
Oh, okay.
Mhm.
And what do you want to do now?
Moving to another country.
Aha, living to another country. Okay, you mean like settling, staying, something like that?
Mm, I mean, I do like to study the textbook, speak your mind, and there
Uh-huh.
are 30 topics, and among them,
Mm-hmm.
I want to discuss the topic entitled "Moving to Another Country."
Moving to another country. All right. So let me open that file.
Okay.
Mhm. Moving to another country and oh, speak your mind. Okay, just for a moment.
Okay.
Uh-huh. All right. So how's your day today? Just let's have a little talk about that while I'm looking for
Okay.
speak your mind.
Yeah, today I was tired, and yesterday I ate hot food, spicy food.
Oh,
So,
wow.
yeah, that's why I think I had an upset stomach today. And
Okay.
yeah, it's okay now, but I wasn't feeling that well today.
Uh, okay, but do you think you're okay with our uh class, right?
Yeah, I'm okay now.
All
I
right, moving. Mhm. Moving to another country. Ah, there you go. I found it. Okay. So, all right. This is a really interesting topic to talk about. And all right. Oh, what's going on? It doesn't want to open.
Can you see it?
Yeah, I can see, but
Yeah, but you don't need to share it because I can see I have my own textbook.
all
So,
right. Okay,
mm,
thank you. Because I'm really having a hard time with the computer today. It hang maybe two two times now. So anyway, all right. So moving to another country. Why did you choose about this topic?
uh, I want to deal with the whole topic in this
Mhm.
textbook, and
Mhm.
yeah, moving to another country. Yeah, yeah. I mean, those questions are easy
Mhm.
to answer compared to other topics.
Okay, but you are good. How come you are choosing this kind? But anyway, all right. So how can you travel to another countries? To other countries?
Yeah. So actually, I can understand this question
Uh huh.
exactly. So
Of
why
course.
it use how? How can you? So by boat or by plane or what does it mean?
Okay, how can you travel to other countries? Of course, when we say how, we're not just going to talk about, like by plane, of course, when
Mm-hmm.
you go to other countries, automatically you take the plane, right?
Uh-huh.
But if we say how can you travel the way, like is it through migration? Is it through uh, maybe petition? If okay, I'm not sure if you're aware about that, but some people they were able to go to other countries because of what we call the petition. Families or people who has relatives in the U.S. they have the chance. So
Mm-hmm.
how can they travel there? Through petition. Their family members in the US will be filing some kind of petition saying that I'd like to take my family member. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
So how about you?
Mm-hmm.
How can you
Uh,
travel to other countries?
could you write down the word petition?
Aha, okay.
Ah, okay,
Petition.
I got it. I checked
Okay.
it. Uh-huh, okay.
Aha, aha, okay.
But nowadays I don't travel to other countries at all. After
Oh.
I got married, and then I didn't have any chances to go to other countries except for a business trip.
Ah, so in other words, your only chance to travel is business trip.
Yeah.
Okay. So how can you travel to other countries? Just through a business trip. But you're
Yeah.
still lucky. You're still lucky because you could go to other countries.
Yeah, but
Mm.
I had to stay up all night for several
Oh.
days. Yeah, and it was not easy. Yeah, I had also a great time when I
Mhm.
had free time. So
Mhm.
I visited New York and I yeah went shopping with my
Mm.
coworkers. But
Mhm.
anyway, I stayed there for 2 months and
Oh
it was
wow.
yeah it was not easy to um, try I mean uh, what is that Western style food.
Mhm. Of course, because your food is very different from Western food. People always look for gochujang,
What's that?
right?
Gututang?
Gochujang.
What is that?
Did I say it right? Gochujang?
고추장, 고추장.
Oh,
Uh,
sorry about that. Okay, I'm trying to
uh,
say it right.
okay, I
Okay.
got it.
All right. So, are you willing to learn the language of other countries? Like,
Yeah,
mm,
it depends on the reason I go to a certain country. So, I mean, I'm willing to study. I'm willing to learn English, but
mm-hmm,
if I don't need to go to other countries, I
mm-hmm,
mean European countries, then yeah, I don't need to learn their languages. But
exactly. Mm-hmm,
if my company asks me to go to, for example, France, then yeah, and I have to stay there for, I mean, over 5 years. Then yeah, I'm willing to learn the language, because
mm-hmm.
yeah, I have to communicate with the people in the country, and if I can't speak their if I can't speak that language, then it's really hard to live in that country. So yeah, but if I stay there for 1 year, then I might not yeah study the language.
I see. I got it. Okay, I had a chance to stay in a country. For example, okay, you said if you have to stay there for a year, you don't need to study the language.
Mm-hmm,
But how are you going to communicate? 1 year seems to be short, but when you are in the country, that's actually long. Why did I say that? When I went to one of the countries in the Middle East,
mm-hmm,
I couldn't communicate well with other people. For 2 months, I'm having a hard time communicating with Arab people
mm,
because I don't speak their language. So I had to, whether I
mm,
like it or not, I had to learn it on my own. Like, for example, I always listen. Like when people are speaking, I listen. I feel like I am a tape recorder every now and then.
mm-hmm,
I listen to them. Just when two people are talking, I just do like this and then remember, 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 remember. If I have a paper with me, I write it down. And an Arab who could speak English, I always make sure that, hey, can you please help me? What does this mean? You
mm-hmm.
know, really something like that. So, do you think 1 year is really not a way for you to study the language?
It depends on the purpose why
Mm-hmm.
that
Okay.
I go to that country. So if
Mm-mm.
I go there because of my company, so
Mm-hmm.
I think there are some people who can speak Korean or English. So if
Mm-hmm.
there are nobody who can speak Korean or English, then I might learn their own language. But yeah, if
Mm-hmm.
I can communicate with people in my company, even
Mm-hmm.
in another yeah country,
Mm-hmm.
then yeah, I think I don't need to learn yeah that country's language.
Oh, okay. I see. I got it. I got what you
Mm.
mean. All right. I'd like to know, are you married?
Yeah, I'm married.
Oh, I see. Okay. For example, you're not married.
Mm-hmm.
Would you consider marrying someone from other countries?
Yeah, if I love that person, then
Mhm.
yeah, and I want to live um, with them and live with him, then yeah,
Mhm.
I'm willing to marry, yeah, get married to that guy. But
Mhm.
I know it is really hard. I don't know, yeah, where I will live after, yeah, getting married. But
Mhm.
I don't want to go to other countries because um, there are no friends and no family, my family.
Mhm.
So yeah, if I can choose, then I
Mhm.
want to get married to
Mhm.
Korean people.
Okay. Yeah, of course, of course. And if, for example, you had a chance, if you had a chance, would you consider trying to take your family to other countries? Like, of course, permanently, live there forever.
Yeah.
Would you
uh,
consider that?
I considered it because I thought in Korea the environment is not that
Mhm.
good. I mean, we have fine dust,
Oh,
pollution,
yeah.
yeah.
Okay.
So it's really hard. I thought it is really bad for my kids. So
Mm.
that's and also because of our country's politician
Mhm.
situation, I wanted to
Oh.
move to another country. So I talked about it with my husband, yeah, sincerely, and we decided
Mhm.
not to move to other countries
Oh.
because first, yeah, language. Uh,
I
my
see, of
husband
course.
and I can speak English that well, and we have to learn English or other countries' languages, and it's not easy. And we can't get a good job in
Of
other
course.
countries.
Yeah, I
So
understand.
yeah, and another reason is the culture
Mhm.
difference. So maybe there is I mean, how can I say, it is um we were grown up with
Mhm.
our country's culture, and then
Mhm.
my husband and I are, how can I say, uh, I'm in my late 30s, so
Mhm.
it's not easy to change our mind or our view of something. So that's why
Mhm.
we just decide our country is the best to live for us to live.
Of course. All right. So anyway, what are your expectations? Okay, for example, you really have, for example, you really have to move to another country. What are your expectations?
Oh wow! It's I have to prepare a lot, and I think there are a lot of obstacles waiting for me.
Uh-huh.
But
Oh
anyway,
yeah.
yeah, I have to prepare for it. So yeah, I have to, yeah, learn the country's language first, and then
Yeah,
yeah,
of
try
course.
to adjust to the country's culture as well.
Mhm.
Yeah, and
Okay.
mhm.
All right. And if ever you will be in another country, are you thinking about or are you concerned about being discriminated?
Yeah, I think it's possible, but
Mhm.
it depends on my job and my status in that country. So, yeah, for example, in Korea, most Koreans don't ignore
Mhm.
Caucasians.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but they ignore Asian people. So
Exactly.
yeah, if I move to America, then
Mhm.
Americans ignore uh, Asian people. So maybe
Yeah.
I also be discriminated or ignored.
Mhm.
So, but it depends on my job and how wealthy I am. If I have a lot of money, then I think they can't ignore me. Yeah,
Of
if
course.
yeah, people just pass. I mean, if I meet person on the street and they don't know my job or my financial status, then they can
Mhm.
ignore me because I am Asian person.
Exactly,
Yeah.
exactly. I have a lot of relatives in the U.S. That's for
Oh.
sure. And of course, Filipinos are naturally short,
Mhm.
and the skin color and everything. One of my sister-in-laws have told me that discrimination is really strong in some parts of the U.S., but not
Mm.
in the parts where there are a lot of people. Like New York City is a cosmopolitan city,
Mhm.
and discrimination is really very uh, small. But
Mm.
places like Texas, I think Oregon and Florida,
Mhm.
they discriminate Asians there. They discriminate a lot. Hmm.
Mhm.
Okay. And anyway, all right. So why do you think discrimination exists in other countries? Why?
Because they think people are um, I mean, worse than them. How can I say?
Mhm.
I mean,
Okay.
not superior. I mean, what's the opposite? Inferior. They think,
Inferior,
yeah,
right?
yeah,
Mhm.
they think uh, people who move to their country are inferior than them. That's why, yeah, they
Mhm.
think uh, they are discriminated. And I don't know.
Uh-huh.
It's really hard to answer this question because I have no idea. Do you have your own answer?
Yeah, I was discriminated. Okay. As I told you, I lived and worked in the Middle East, and my first year was really hell. I'd like to use that word. I'm sorry for the word, but that's how I felt. My
Mm-hmm.
first year there was really hell. Even a very small boy or even a very small girl, they think that Filipinos are only house helpers. Can you imagine
Mm-hmm.
that?
Mm-hmm.
I went there as a teacher, so all of them like, oh, a Filipino, my teacher. Oh my God, that feeling.
Mm.
And I was angry, but I had to stand. Like I am a teacher, I have
Mm-hmm.
education, I have I have the right to stand and fight for my right. And well, as time passed by, I was able to prove myself that I am not the Filipino they know.
Mm-hmm.
So my boss is a sheikh, so he gave me that chance to prove myself, and I was really very thankful. It is not easy. They treat you someone like so inferior, and
Mm-hmm.
sometimes they mock you, sometimes they say bad words at you. I even experienced being spat on, like
Mm-hmm.
one boy even
Mm.
grabbed my ass like this. Oh my god. And then
Mm.
he spoke in his language saying that I am an animal. Can you imagine? Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
because
Oh.
for them, when they shout like haiwan, they call you haiwan, it means you are an animal.
Mm.
When I am in front of these Arab people, I have to, like, I am a teacher.
Mm-hmm.
But when I get home, I cry. I'm telling you the truth. I
Mm.
really cry. It's hard because it's really very hard to be in
Mm-hmm.
another country, right? Okay. Ah. Anyway,
Mm-hmm.
moving to another country is not very easy. I'm telling you that.
Oh, and
But
I asked why do you think you were discriminated? Why?
because of being a Filipino, they think
Uh,
that Filipinos are only house helpers.
mm-hmm. Okay,
Right.
so they
Okay.
already knew your nationality. Just they see you and then they recognized. Ah, she is a Filipino.
Exactly.
Really? Wow.
Exactly. Yeah, yeah. Because Arab people look different, really different.
Mm-hmm.
Tall, dark skin, beautiful people, and so on. But Filipinos are short. What else? Straight hair, perhaps, and so on. Yeah, yeah. That's it. They think that I am just a house helper. Oh,
Mm-hmm.
okay. So anyway, because time is already really up.
Okay.
So, yeah, thank you for this class and have a good night. Okay?
You too. Bye.
All right. Okay, good night, Elia.